How's it going, everybody? We've all heard the stories on the news of the corruption that has taken place within our local governments. You know, you hear about police being corrupt, you hear about it on the news, you hear this, you hear that, but you never really think it'll happen to you. I'm here to tell you, it can very easily happen to you because it happened to me and my wife. Now, I'm going to show you all the evidence that I have put together from doing FOIA requests. And this is just mine and my wife's case. Nobody else's. The amount of corruption and illegal things that have been done and the judicial unethical judicial practices that have taken place are insane and unreal. And it's not just the cops and the judges, it's the prosecuting attorneys, it's the entire police department, it's the corporation in which this all stemmed from. It's insane. But let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Go ahead and get me moved over here. And there we go. Let's jump in here. Oops, sorry, wrong one. There we go. This is a police report from October 14th, 2022, the day it all happened. States, on October 14th, approximately 16:45 hours, I, Officer Castillo, badge number 3197, was dispatched to a robbery at 4800 U.S. Highway 287 at the Walmart. Call stated that the suspect forced his way into the loss prevention office to free his girlfriend, who was detained. She wasn't detained, she was kidnapped. Upon arrival, I spoke with Andrew Wassam, who stated the following. He alerted to the female because she was putting items into her backpack. But in court, Andrew Wassam stated that he alerted to my wife because she was wearing a backpack. Number one, that is discrimination. So, moving on. The female was described as Caucasian, blue hair, approximately 5'5" and 120 pounds, wearing a black shirt and jeans. They continued to monitor the female until she passed all points of sale and stopped her in the vestibule just prior to the main exit. I'm going to tell you now, that's a lie, because you can't continue to monitor anyone if you leave the room where the monitor is. And in order to stop somebody in the vestibule, you have to leave the room where the monitor is. Moving forward. The suspect was not being cooperative and refused to go to the loss prevention office. This would go on for approximately 1 to 2 minutes until Wassam grabbed the backpack with the stolen items, and attempted to take it to the office. However, the suspect held on to the backpack and was pulled towards the office until she sat down on the ground. He pulled the bag with her hanging onto it into the office where he detained her. So number one, she wasn't hanging on to the backpack. She was wearing the backpack. It was her purse. All right, sorry about that. She didn't sit down on the floor. She was pulled down. Another thing is, like I said, she was wearing the backpack. She wasn't holding on to it. She was wearing it because it was her purse. Yeah, he didn't pull her and the bag into the office. He dragged her across the floor by her purse. Moving forward, while loss prevention officers were dealing with the suspect, or dealing with her, the suspect on the phone was on the phone with someone. Tell them where she was. Tell them where she was on the phone. On the phone, tell them where she was. You English, bro? Anyways, yeah, she was on the phone with me because I was in the car, in the parking lot, in the car, in the parking lot with our service animal because it was the dog's day off. Do 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 do. Um, while she was in the office, she began taking items out of the bag that she stole. She began taking items that she stole out of the bag and placing them on the bench. No, she dumped her entire bag, but the items that were in her bag were our items that we paid for. We had a receipt for it, but they never asked for it. He advised he did not know that she took multiple hair products without purchasing them. She didn't. Those were ours. A short time later, a male suspect rushed at both him and another employee, pushing and shoving them out of the way. The male suspect was attempting to free the female suspect and appeared to be her boyfriend / husband. Yes, I'm her husband. He then began pushing the male suspect back in an attempt to keep him out of the office, but he managed to get push his way through. He held both suspects in the office for a short time until the suspect pushed his way through them to get to the door. Once the suspect pushed past them, he let both suspects go as it was no longer safe to detain them. What was I suspect for? What was I suspected of doing? I wasn't. So I don't know where he's getting both suspects. Anyways, while speaking with Wasson, he would rub his left forearm and advised that it hurt when he was shoved by the suspect. Did not see any visible injury. However, he did state he felt pain and wishes to prosecute. He described the male suspect as Caucasian with green hair, approximately 5'6", 140 pounds. Thanks, bruh. Wearing a black shirt and shorts. I then spoke with loss prevention employee Randy Williams, who advised he felt pain when the male suspect shoved him. He stated that the suspect shoved his forearm into his neck and shoved him against the door. No, I didn't. That was what he did to me. He advised he also felt pain in his upper left arm. However, there were no visible injuries. Randy Williams also advised he wishes to prosecute. Washington then showed me the video, and I observed the female suspect placing a small backpack inside of her personal bag. Wrong. The male suspect was not around when she was concealing things in her bag. Wassam stated that the male suspect was in his vehicle the whole time. The female suspect continued walking in with the stolen items past all points of sale and was stopped by loss prevention. She refused to go with the employees and was trying to walk around them until she stood against the wall. The employees appeared to be trying to convince her to come into the office until Wassam grabbed the bag and pulled the suspect with it. After they got her into the office, the male suspect came rushing up and trying to push past the employees to get the female and leave. A bystander also jumped in to help employees restrain male suspect. The suspect The suspects were then held in the office until the male suspect pushed both Wassam and Williams, pushed by both Wassam and Williams. Wassam then let the female go, and the suspect got into a maroon Ford Fusion and left the location. While at Walmart, the cat team, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Wassam printed a receipt. He did not print a receipt because y'all didn't attach it to the report as you stated here. If y'all did, then you violated the FOIA request because I requested everything. I don't see a receipt attached here. So, and not to mention, while at the in court, Detective Holloway stated there was no receipt. The receipt that Jordan Castillo, badge number 3197 of the Arlington Police Department. Now, we left from there, went directly to the hospital. The reason for that being, give me a second, I'll show you here. This is the picture from the hospital. This is the day that it happened. You see the bruising. This was the following day. Yeah. They got her good. So, now, keep in mind, those are the bruises that we show whenever he talks about it here. On October 15th, 2022, at approximately 1800 hours, Officer Castillo was contacted by the South Desk, who advised that two suspects involved in a theft and assault yesterday at Walmart were at the desk. The two suspects were wanting to make a report for assault and kidnapping by Walmart employees. I spoke with the female suspect, later identified as Brianna. I advised that she was at Walmart yesterday evening and was stopped by two men. The two men did not identify themselves and nor say why they were stopping her. She said they were grabbing her and drug her into a room and hurt her. She showed me the left arm and it had bruising on the inner and outer bicep. She stated that the bruising on her arm was from the two men grabbing her. No, she stated that it was from them pulling her purse into the office. This is what she showed him. This right here. Bam. Right? Okay. Just wanted to clarify that. When asked why she waited a day to report it, she stated that she went to multiple hospitals in different cities. She also said she tried to make a report for assault, but she was unable to because it happened in Arlington. Correct. Fort Worth PD would not take our report for the assault and advised us to go to Arlington PD the next day. She would later change her story, about being stopped, and said that they told her that she stole some khaki pants. Correct. I spoke with a boyfriend, later identified as Cody Stanley. He continuously stated that they kidnapped Geneseo and that they aren't allowed to stop or detain people. I advised that he was charged for assault, for pushing and shoving the employees, and he stated that he was just trying to help his girlfriend. That was my wife. Thank you. I advised, I saw the video which showed her concealing items and passing all points of sale, which is not the passing all points of sale thing is fucking what gets me here. Passing all points of sale is nowhere in the Texas Penal Code. And I fucking said that multiple times. That is a Walmart policy, not a Texas law. I also advised that I did not observe the two Walmart employees grab her arm, only her backpack. Right, her backpack, her belongings. They cannot seize her property. It has been more than a day since the incident. It been, he says in the beginning of his report here, yesterday. How has it been more than a day if it was yesterday? You fucking ignorant piece of shit. Anyways, since the incidents, so it is unknown where the bruising came from. I told Brianna that she would be receiving a citation for theft under $100 and issued a citation that she refused to sign. I advised that there would be no report for assault or kidnapping, and both suspects left the South Station because he refused to take our report. I went back to review the footage. No, you didn't, because I have the evidence inventory, and you never checked it back out once you checked it in. So, confirmed neither employee grabbed her left arm. One employee grabbed the backpack she was holding, but did not touch the left arm. The backpack, see right here, you said, no, she wasn't holding it, she was wearing it, you fucking idiot. However, the bruising is inconsistent with straps from a bag. So why would the straps bruise her arm if she was holding it? You fucking illiterate, ignorant motherfucker. Brianna was issued a citation. Issued citation for theft under $100. Nothing further. See, this is the problem. They're fucking wording these reports to go in their favor of what they want the outcome to be. Why would she have bruising on her upper biceps if she wasn't wearing the bag? If she was just holding the bag like you stated, you ignorant motherfucker. Here we go. To show that he lied, that he went back and watched the video. See, this is the chain of custody for evidence. It was processed in on October 14th, 2022 at 7:39 p.m. Intake, Jordan Castillo, from Jordan Castillo to this person. And it didn't get checked back out again, release, until November 4th, 2022 at 9:02 p.m. from this person to that person, right? And it gets checked back in 14 minutes later on November 4th from this person to this person. So when did he go back and review the footage? And evidence only. That's it. That's all they got was for evidence. There was no receipt. There was nothing. They wrote all this shit down on here. And it's fucking insane. And somehow, her and I both were still found guilty at trial. And it's insane. And I haven't even got to the detective part yet. But I have a video I want to show y'all.
Arlington is also home to 3 Walmart stores across the city. But Arlington is no different than other cities that have tried to address a long-standing problem within the community: how to stop theft and shoplifting at local Walmarts. The Arlington Police Department decided to think out of the box. Working together with Walmart, a plan was created that could reduce shoplifting thefts, and just the time police officers spend at Walmart. But would it work?
I mean, it's something new. Hasn't been tried before that I was aware of in the area.
Anything new, you'll always be a little bit skeptical because you don't know if it's exactly going to work the way it's planned, because the plan never works out according to plan.
You know, we were hesitant about, doing this program at first because we thought that, it was just going to be another program that came in and we would send it out the door because, our associates weren't going to be cooperative with it.
We were still a little bit like, is this going to work? We've tried different things before.
So what was different about this program from the others? Conventional methods before didn't work. This program worked directly with each store to place first-time shoplifters into a program focused on rehabilitation and improving long-term behavior. Instead of an endless stream of arrests like in years past, the department focused on directly engaging shoplifters. APD Assistant Chief Kevin Colby encouraged a philosophy change from apprehension to prevention. The results speak for themselves.
We've reduced our arrest of shoplifters by 70%. Our calls for service have been reduced over 41%.
Without Walmart helping us, we would not be able to get this plan off the ground and taken care of.
I mean, I was young. There's people who are young. There's people who are older who make mistakes. But it really does give them the opportunity to really think about their decision that they made and to better their life in the future.
Most of these people are not career criminals. They're not bad guys. Again, they're just good people that maybe make a poor decision.
We want to keep our officers out doing other things than spending time in the office itself, because we were keeping officers there probably, a good hour just on a shoplifting call.
They're spending less time in the office and more time deterring theft.
Our time spent out here is a lot less now. Now when we come out here, it's either for shoplifting or we come out here to speak to the employees and see if they need anything else from us and what else can we do.
I can go to Lincoln Square, I can go to the hotels and other businesses, make contacts, do patrols.
It's sad to say, but we're here so much for shoplifting, but now that they see us all the time, it's more that, okay, police officers are here, maybe we need to think twice on about what they're doing and not make that bad decision.
And we're also able to free up resources to help the other patrol units out, because obviously we have the big events here that's right smack dab in the middle of the entertainment district, so now our focus and resources can go other places, not just Walmart.
Because this partnership has been so successful, Walmart is going to implement it in over 1,000 stores region-wide. The APD and Walmart have successfully shown how restorative justice can solve a community-wide problem and help put officers and resources back into the community.
Our partnership with Walmart is something that has significantly
that program right there that they implemented was actually deemed to be unconstitutional. And by the Supreme Court, and got thrown out after or before, before or after, it doesn't matter, that the Texas Police Chiefs Association awarded Arlington PD with a bunch of rewards for that program they came up with. Well, hey, that was a waste of awards. Those are awards that don't mean nothing because the program was deemed to be unconstitutional, meaning it was illegal. I'm just saying. That's got to be points for something, right? But I digress. It's a conflict of interest for police to work with a corporation against anything. Now, police can go out and arrest somebody for shoplifting. But they cannot go out and create a program to deter it with the corporation. That's conflict of interest all the way around. So what kind of kickback did APD get off of that from Walmart? I would love to know. I would love to know what kind of kickback the judges are getting from Walmart, because they're highly illegal. So, because I mean, whenever I read the detective's report, it's going to tell you that I did not assault anybody, but yet I was still found guilty of assault, and he changed his story in court. So, something's happening. Let's look into that report, shall we? Here we go. So this report is done by Detective Jeffrey Holloway, badge number 2060. Victim Wassam. He wasn't a victim. Me as a suspect. Offense, assault, provocative, and physical contact. On the 14th. Time was 16:11. Day of the week was Friday. So, starts here, November 3rd, 2022. I, Detective Jeff Holloway, badge number 2060, was assigned to the West Geographic Investigation Unit and received this report for review and necessary follow-up. I read the original and supplement report by Officer Castillo, badge number 3197, and familiarized myself with the facts of the circumstances of this case. I watched a surveillance video that was brought to my desk by Officer Castillo after he took the report. Walmart loss prevention officers Wassam and Williams detained a female suspect or shoplifter after identified as Brianna in the vestibule area on the south end of the store. Brianna concealed items in her bag and refused to cooperate with loss prevention. Wassam grabbed the bag Brianna was holding. She wasn't holding it. She was wearing it, holding on to, and pulled her into the loss prevention office that was in the south vestibule. She wasn't holding it for the fucking 100th time. She was wearing it. A minute later, a white male, later identified as Cody Stanley, arrived at the loss prevention office and used his body to forcefully get into the office. Stanley pushed past both Wassam and Williams and gained access. Loss prevention learned that Stanley was Brianna's boyfriend, but I'm her husband. After a minute, Stanley was angry and wanted to leave. Since officers were not on scene at that moment, Wassam and Williams let Stanley and Brianna out of they didn't let us out. I had to push past, so that tells me right there you didn't watch the video. Out of office due to safety situation. Wassam told Officer Castillo his left arm hurt after Stanley pushed his way into the room. Officer Castillo did not locate any visible injury or any visible bodily injury. I did not observe Stanley extend his arms right here. I did not observe Stanley extend his arms and assault the loss prevention officers. I just noticed he forcefully made his way into the office by using body weight and go through the loss prevention officers. I did not observe. Right there tells you I didn't assault anybody. I contacted Wassam by phone and asked if he was hurt or, or offended by the contact. Wassam stated he was not injured, and he was mad the suspect did this. So we're the feelings police now. Wassam agreed that a citation should be issued to Stanley due to the fact Wassam suffered no bodily injury. Then right here, he states, I spoke with Officer Castillo because he contacted Stanley and Brianna at the South Police Station when they tried to report they were injured in the offense. Both suspects listed Arlington, Texas as their address. When I researched them, Brianna showed to have lived there in July 2022, and Stanley had never listed this address as his home address. Officer Castillo made contact with the resident and made contact with the resident of blank and spoke with the resident. The resident stated he owns the house and Brianna's his goddaughter. She and Stanley briefly lived there, but he kicked them out. He believes they might be homeless. The resident stated they do not come by the house, or they do come by the house from time to time. So, yeah, that tells me that he didn't speak to him because he didn't kick us out. We left. So where he's getting that from is, I'll show you where he got that from. The way this right here. Now, at court, Detective Holloway said that he never investigated the theft. I want you to look right here. Came across this report where she and Cody Stanley are involved in a theft at Walmart that you investigated. That was from November 17th, 2022. Tell me, why would it say that you did investigate it if you didn't? Strange. Isn't that? But if you read the rest of this here, it'll tell you exactly word for word. Everything that he stated right there is right here. So that tells me that he wrote his report after we went to court, after we had trial. Strange. But let's go and look at Walmart policy here, shall we? So, see, investigation and detention of shoplifter policy, Walmart Stores Incorporated. If you observe or become aware of this policy being violated, immediately notify Market Asset Protection Manager or Regional Asset Protection Manager. I bet they didn't. I bet they didn't contact them. Only non-aggressive methods may be used when investigating suspects. Only non-aggressive. Only non-aggressive. But hey. Wait a minute. This is where they get the final point of sale. Right here. and does not have a reasonable explanation for passing the last point of sale and entering the vestibule. Strange. That's Walmart policy right there. Y'all see that? Okay. Only non-aggressive methods. Just saying. Associates may only defend themselves or others to the extent necessary to disengage suspect and withdraw from situation. Never search suspect's belongings, such as purse, bags, and other containers. That's strange. What were they trying to rip her bag away from her for? Put people first. Protecting the physical well-being of suspects, customers, and Walmart associates is your first priority, not theirs. Let's look at these here. Tampering and fabricating physical evidence. Alters, destroys, or conceals any record, document, or thing with the intent to impair or verify its validity, legibility, or availability as evidence. There's one. Tampering with governmental records. There's another one that they committed. Let's see here. There should be tampering with a witness in here too. Impacts. I guess I didn't get a picture of that one. But regardless. Yeah. Let's look at here we go right here. Theft. This is Texas Penal Code 31.03, theft. A person commits an offense if he lawfully appropriates property with the intent to deprive the owner of property. Appropriation of this property is unlawful if it is without the owner's effective consent, the property is stolen, and the actor appropriates the property knowing it was stolen by another. I don't think that means that while you're still on the property inside of the store, that they can say that something was stolen. I don't believe that's what that says right there. I don't believe anywhere in here does it say past the final point of sale. Because Walmart, past the final point of sale at every store you have, there's shit outside. Every fucking store. Every fucking store. Past the final point of sale, your customer service is past the final point of sale. Your lawn and garden is past the final point of sale. Hello? I'm not going to play the court recordings I have because, well, I haven't received them from the court yet, but I do have them. But Officer Castillo falsified a police report, turned in a false police report, refused to take statements from actual crime victims, felony crime victims. The judges denied us the right to counsel, denied us the right to have each other as a witness because they forced both of our trials to happen at the exact same time. Then whenever we had jury selection for both trials, it happened at the same time from the same group of people. So whatever they picked first, I couldn't have those. I didn't even have the chance to have those. And nor were those people replaced with more people for my selection. So, I mean, that's gotta be, I'm sure that's against some kind of type of law because it wasn't a fair and honest trial. We were denied the right to counsel, denied the right to, or we were denied ADA accommodations. See, because I should have the court recording already. I should have it transcribed already as well. They were supposed to be supplied as it was happening, but it wasn't because we were denied our ADA rights. Let's see, what else were we denied? We were intimidated, threatened, coerced. My wife was told that we have tables and chairs, therefore we meet ADA accommodations or ADA whatever. It was a fuck show all the way around, and it was done all wrong, illegally. My wife was attacked by two grown men. I had my hand broken. And yet somehow we're still the fucking guilty party. Make it make sense. It doesn't. It won't. You can't. And for that, I am doing everything in my power to pursue a lawsuit against Walmart, Arlington Police Department, Municipal Court of Arlington, and anyone involved. I'm going after the police department entirely. I'm going after each officer. And one of those officers is actually a internal affairs sergeant who just so happens to be the mayor's son. Oh yeah, tell me there's not a cover up there. Mayor Jim Ross, his son, Sergeant Jared Ross, was the internal affairs sergeant that I spoke with on the phone, who I would be playing a clip of that. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and get that started now. Do, 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 do. Here we go.
I get it. Kind of hold on to your involvement or the lack of statement that you were able to get. I get it.
Hello?
Hello, Cody. This is Sergeant Ross with Arlington Police.
Hi, Sergeant Russ. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, we got your voicemail and your email. Me and my partner were kind of looking over the report and stuff and becoming familiar with what happened. So, do you have a complaint about one of our officers?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Officer, well, actually 3 of them. I only know one of them's name, though.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 2 of them. Officer Castillo and Officer Santiago.
Okay.
There was a third officer. The only way that you can give an official.
Okay.
An official.
Because we have body cameras and we just no, we usually don't do written statements. Actually, because we have body cameras and we just the officer will make notes as to what person is saying. And
she didn't make any notes.
Okay.
And said it wasn't really. She then told us she was going to step out and contact her supervisor to find out which direction to go, which turned out to be a lie. She contacted an officer that responded to the call the day before and had him come to the station and, basically, held us there just until he can get there under false pretenses.
Okay.
Then Officer Castillo came in, and at this point, he came directly in front of my wife, stood in front of her in a very dominant and intimidating stance, even after he was told she was uncomfortable.
Victim,
There was no need for him to stand directly 3 about to be scorned without having all sides of the story and without all evidence being submitted. I don't know if it was a threat or what it was. Told me I was facing 2 counts of assault, but never wrote me a ticket or anything like that or citation while we were there, and then turned around and wrote my wife a citation for theft when she never left the store with a single item.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, I wasn't there certainly, but I do know that you don't have to leave the store for it to be considered theft. If you pass all points of sale, meaning the cash registers, then that can be considered a theft.
Excuse me. Can you tell me where at in the Texas Penal Code it states that where you pass all points of sale?
That part is not specifically in penal code, but I think what is presumed at that point is that you
Now, I want y'all to remember what he just said. All points of sale, past all points of sale, final points of sale. Because I have another sergeant here in a minute that I'm going to play a phone call from, and you'll hear that he admits it's not.
You know, I get it.
Right.
You know?
Mm.
So, but I can't promise anything. But I mean, if being the owner to be considered theft, if you pass all points of sale, meaning the cash registers, then that can be considered a theft.
Excuse me. Can you tell me where at in the Texas Penal Code it states that where you pass all points of sale?
That part is not specifically in penal code, but I think what is presumed at that point is that you have committed the theft by depriving the owner, i.e. the store, of the property because you've foregone, your opportunity to pay.
Okay. Let me ask this then. If you pick up a bag of potting soil that's outside, past all points of sale outside of the fence of the garden center, and you walk from the garden center to the front doors with it, is that theft?
No, I wouldn't think so because you're coming in as if you're intending to pay. You're walking into the store, not away from the store.
How can somebody say that he wasn't walking out to garden center?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, but I will tell you that is commonly accepted pretty much everywhere and has been used at that Walmart and every Walmart and Target in the city of Arlington. Many people have been arrested for that very same thing.
So what you're stating is that y'all don't enforce Texas Penal Code.
Nope.
You enforce Walmart policies.
No, it's not a Walmart policy. It's a theft at that point.
Yes, actually it is. I have Walmart's policy.
Well, it may be a policy as well, but I'm telling you, and you can talk to the DA's office as well. Or I guess in this court, this case, the city court will be handling her citation, not the DA's office, but they will tell you the same thing, that at that point, the act of theft has been committed because you've passed the points of sale and you haven't made any intention to pay for them. Therefore, it's presumed that the act of theft has been committed.
You can't presume where a person is going just because they're walking out the
Cody,
front.
I'm not going to argue penal code with you. I'm just telling you what is. That is a common practice, and that is legally defendable, and that is something that's happened for a long time.
So can I ask a question, Sergeant Ross?
Sure.
When is it going to be okay for me not to be able to press charges for assault and battery for what they did to me?
I don't understand your question. When is it not going to be okay?
When will it be okay?
When will it be okay? Because they broke company policy completely.
Mm-hmm.
They broke state penal code.
And they broke state penal code. Mm-hmm. And I am not okay. I'm severely not okay.
They even broke the licensed security officer code.
And I was told on multiple occasions they had the right to do what they did to me.
Yeah, so certainly you guys have a right to file a complaint, which you may have already done with Walmart corporate if you feel like their employees mistreated you. As far as the law goes, I'm not going to pass judgment on the specific incident because I haven't seen photos. I'm not the one investigating any of that, but I can tell you in a general sense, security is allowed to use a minimal amount of force necessary to detain somebody, just like any citizen would be able to. If there's a breach of the peace or a felony or to prevent the consequences of theft, it typically does not result in injuries. But I don't know. I don't know what all scuffle may have happened back and forth. But if you feel like, go ahead.
Being dragged across the floor by your bag,
and being overpowered by two men and literally pushed and dragged and elbowed and hit
and humiliated and belittled, and told that you can scream as loud as you want. Nobody's coming to save you.
I was degraded. And I was physically harmed.
And I even asked Officer Castillo, did you listen to the audio on the video? Because evidently he's seen the video, he says.
There's probably not. There's probably not audio because it was.
The two employees said that there was audio and they'll hear everything that's being said.
Oh, there might be. I don't know. I know in the big areas of stores, there's usually video only because it would be so noisy. You know, it'd have so much audio. Now, if there's video like in the loss prevention office, perhaps that probably has audio. I'm not aware of that. I would encourage you guys to file a complaint with Walmart corporate if you feel like their employees didn't treat you properly.
Okay. What about the officers not taking report?
What do you mean? Officers not taking what report?
We wasn't given a report number. We wasn't able to file a report. We were giving a verbal report,
and not all
but
officers identified themselves.
Never gave a written report, which is the only form of official report.
No,
and
we don't do. No,
that's not true. Texas code. Yes, it is.
Okay, we don't have people write out written reports. You're misinformed. So we don't.
I'm not write out written reports. Is what you're telling me?
No, I mean people sometimes do submit written statements. That does happen sometimes. If you were to come up and provide a written statement, it might be added to a report. But typically, our primary method for taking police reports is verbally. The officer jots down notes. They have their body camera. The body camera is categorized, and the footage is booked in as evidence. The officer summarizes the victim's account.
Okay, but notes of a discussion, you can forget what was said and only have notes, and there'd be very important details left out.
It could be. Yeah, you're right.
So can I ask why, Sergeant Ross, I wasn't given a report number and just told to just leave? And as
the
if
police
what
station
I had happened to me didn't matter?
To leave the police station when y'all came the next day?
Yeah, if we didn't have anything further, we could go.
We were free to go and we could leave. I wasn't given a report number, a call.
The only
number.
thing we were given was a case number.
Not even case number.
Yeah, we got a case number on.
Yeah, that is the report number. Case number and report number are kind of one and the same. Those terms are used interchangeably.
There should be two different numbers. One for Walmart's report, one for ours.
Nope.
Are they
I'll be under the same one. It'll be under the same one because everything happened at the same time. I'm trying to pull it up.
Which one's which?
Okay.
Do you happen to have the report number in front of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
20.
Yeah. Go ahead. 2022.
2022-0287. 0509.
All right, give me 1 second. And y'all can go online or come into the police station and file an open records request for a copy of the report. You can also get request copies of the body camera. And
I already have requested body cam from our interaction and
that was actually a false statement that he made. Not all reports are going to have the same number because my assault that they filed on me actually had a separate case number. Shut up. Go. Go. Just throw that in there. I'm going to skip through some of this so that we can get through it faster.
Yeah.
Definitely, I can. It might still be in a pending supervisor approval. So let me check this other system. 1 second, just to make sure y'all's statements were included. So we can definitely, I can definitely, and this phone call is recorded, so this will serve as your complaint. We can definitely generate a complaint for the Officer Castillo being, as you said, intimidating, or any other way you want to describe him. and we can have a supervisor look into that. And what they'll do is review the footage and talk to the officer, maybe talk to you guys again, and render some sort of disposition.
Sergeant Ross, do you have an email that I could email you photos of the injury that I incurred?
Well, the injuries are going to be related to your complaint on the Walmart employees. They don't really have anything to do with.
The reason why I want to send it to you.
So, right there, he says the injuries that you occurred are going to have to do with your Walmart report. We don't deal with injuries. We don't worry about what happened to you. Fuck you and fuck what happened to you. We're just worried about what our officers did. Your officers failed to provide equal protection under the law. That's what your officers did. That's what you're doing as well, you fucking piece of shit.
Let me ask this then. If you pick up a bag of potting soil that's outside, past all points of sale outside of the...
Quite yet to see what your statement is, but I would imagine what I would expect is that the officers write up
why, where, how active. I showed it to officers that I incurred.
Well, the injuries are going to be related to your complaint on the Walmart employees. They don't really have anything to do with...
the reason why I want to send it to you is for the fact that I showed it to Officer Castillo and he gassed it off.
Yeah. Basically just left.
He's like, whatever.
Blew it off.
Like,
because he already had his mindset that she was a thief. So she deserved what she got.
Yeah, it's how it seemed.
No, that is exactly what it was.
He's like, you said, I was like, what? And not once has anybody asked anything. Why, where, how, when, what? Just you're a thief. You're gonna you have to go face a conviction.
Yeah, the report's been typed up. It just hasn't been merged over into our system yet, so I can't look at it quite yet to see what your statement is. But I would imagine what I would expect is that the officers write up both sides to every story, right? And so it should include any factors they have to believe that you committed the theft that led up to the citation, along with any complaint or allegations you made on the loss prevention employees as well. Even if no action's being taken on there, I mean, the whole picture of the whole incident would be in that one report. If for some reason something is not in there that you believe is in there or that you believe should be in there, then we can address that at that time. But it's still being kind of finalized in our system. So y'all have to. You can go ahead and do an open records request. I don't know when it'll be available. Probably later this week would be my guess. You can get a copy of the report and look it over and see if it's adequate or not. But it should all be on the same report number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can tell you now that I never gave my statement. I was never asked my statement.
Okay.
All I was told was, I don't know why you're talking. You're being charged with 2 counts of assault. That was it.
And nothing given.
Yeah.
I don't know how to look that up either because they never gave me a citation. Didn't put me into custody.
Yeah, I don't
didn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you probably weren't. They may have listed you as a suspect in an assault, but
me to be held accountable, regardless.
All right.
Because to me, at this point, it looks as though, and sounds as though, considering in Walmart's policies specifically stating has final point of sale, it's looking and sounding exactly like basically Walmart has Arlington PD for their security, and whatever Walmart says goes.
No, I mean, we do work closely with Walmart and Target just because we respond to a lot of shops.
Is that no, we don't work closely with them? because I just showed another video that says otherwise. You're failing here, Jared. You're failing, and you're wanting to be a member of the city council, North Richland Hills. No, like, you're making your dad look bad.
Let me ask this then: If you, is that not a conflict of interest whenever your officers are and
target just because we respond to a lot of shoplifting calls, but we don't.
Okay.
It's not. We don't work a security job up there. They're responsible for their own detention.
Is that not a conflict of interest whenever your officers are there daily, and then treat the quote unquote suspects as though they are already guilty without ever hearing what was done?
No,
how
I mean,
it was done, when it was done.
No, we 100% expect every officer that goes to a reported shoplifting call or anything else there to be objective and to take everything. Sir,
my statement's not in there because I never gave it.
Well, yeah, there's not a very long one. It says that the officers identified you as, and that you were saying I Cody to one or two of the loss prevention guys, and that part is not resolved yet. So it'll probably be forwarded to a detective in the West Geographics area, which is the building y'all went to, and they'll look at it and possibly do some follow-up investigation to see what, if any, charges would be filed. It's possible that they look at it and say, there's not enough probable cause, we're not going to move forward. They may reach out to you for a statement, they may not. That part is still open. That makes sense. But y'all's statements are in here. I mean, the officer...
My statement's not in there because I never gave it.
Well, yeah, there's not a very long one. It says that the officers identified you as, and that you were saying that Brianna had been kidnapped and that loss prevention was not allowed to do that. I advised Cody that he would be charged for assault for pushing and shoving the employees. He said that he was just trying to help his girlfriend. So that's pretty much all he said about that part. So,
Let me ask this then: If you pick up a bag of potting soil that's outside, past all points of sale out,
detective, that's your opportunity to be forwarded to the officer's chain of command and be reviewed by a sergeant, lieutenant, and deputy chief, and somebody will be back in contact with one or both of you to let you know the findings of that. Cody, as far as your involvement or the lack of statement that you were able to give, I would just kind of hold on to whatever you want to say, and if and when you're contacted by a detective, that's your opportunity to kind of more fully explain your involvement, because at the time their investigation was mostly focused on the alleged theft committed by Brianna. So that was their focus. So this is kind of the assault allegation is like a secondary deal where it's going to be forwarded to a detective. So
right there, he tells me that my statement is unimportant and didn't mean shit, even though I took place in the situation. But hey, let's go on to another recording I have, which is Sergeant Puckett of Arlington Police Department. And let's hear what he has to say. He has some interesting things to say. Yeah. So let's see here.
Very much. Ever, because I am an insurance adjuster. I do have to do like reporting and stuff like that. So
So I just want to go ahead and let y'all know I'm just going to be skipping through some of this and hitting the highlights because, yeah, it's already been an hour-long video.
You move one thing and 100 other things move with it.
Oh yeah.
But
yes, you're saying
whenever
he said you deserve what you
when
get.
he looked at me, I said, I was like, I didn't leave the property. That he goes, well, I watched you do it, and I said, I didn't do anything, and he goes, well, I said I got manhandled by 2 men. He goes, well, it seems to me you got what you deserved.
Seems to me you got what you deserved.
Is what I remember.
Okay, and I will tell you if that is what's said, then yeah, that can be troublesome. I'm hoping that that's not what I hear, but based on 2 other statements y'all quoted the officers saying they were direct, they just weren't true the way you guys said it. So if that truly is what happened, then yeah, well, that is something that will be addressed.
Like,
what statements did I quote that weren't true?
The first one, the very first statement, you said that the officer came in and immediately said, "What's the problem?"
Okay, so I paraphrased that one.
And and it's not me necessarily taking sides. I have to be as impartial as I can.
Automatically tells you he's going to take sides.
At least in my viewing of it, it wasn't that initial contact. He walked in and said, "Hey, what's going on?" Actually, kind of empathetically. But it's,
to me, sir, it was very. I was already still shocked. Like I'm still dealing with issues, so I didn't really pay attention because I wasn't trying to pay attention. Like I said, I have mental issues.
Right.
Yeah, I honestly I don't remember how it was phrased.
Want to be sure on. It seems to me you got what you deserved. Very bad, or it may have been phrased somewhere a different way.
I honestly I don't remember how it was phrased.
Mm-hmm.
I am bad with how things are exactly worded.
Sure.
But I remember the feeling.
Right.
And it wasn't accepting at all. And the fact that they didn't want to take the report for us to file charges against the 2 men because we flat out told them that's what we wanted to do is file charges on those 2.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the conversation started going pretty sideways when you pulled out your CCP book and then do you know the penal code front to back? I don't know an officer that does. I don't.
No.
But it became very adversarial at that point. So
it did. And the fact that they were quoting Walmart policies is beyond me because what they're saying about passing the final point of sale is nowhere in the penal code anywhere.
Absolutely is not. Yes, you're correct.
What? What did he just say?
Book and then the
Walmart policies is beyond me because what they're saying about passing the final point of sale is nowhere in the penal code anywhere.
Absolutely is not. Yes, you're correct on that.
Thank you, Jesus.
That's more Tarrant County guidelines, which is who would prosecute any crimes in Arlington. They push out guidelines to us, but we kind of call it the state of Tarrant because they have their own guidelines. But yeah, that absolutely, you're right. That's not in the penal code.
So,
hold up. Wait a minute. Rewind that back one more time.
Crimes in Arlington, they push out guidelines to us, but we kind of call it the state of Tarrant because they have their own guidelines. But
what the fuck? The state of Tarrant. I thought it was the state of Texas. Tarrant County. So a county can now make up its own guidelines for the law. So does that mean that we need to go after Tarrant County as well? Because it sure the fuck sounds like it. What do y'all think?
You move one thing and 100 other things move with it, which their store policy goes against their adamant about it. I'm like, that's penal code anywhere.
Correct on that. That's more Tarrant County guidelines, which is who would prosecute any crimes in Arlington. They push out guidelines to us, but we kind of call it the state of Tarrant because they have their own guidelines. But yeah, that absolutely, you're right. That's not in the penal code.
So, but it is in Walmart's policy, and that's what bothered me. That's why I got real adamant about it. I'm like, that's in Walmart's policy. That's a policy. That's a store policy. That is not a Texas penal code, which their store policy goes against their self anyways, considering 90% of Walmarts have merchandise for sale outside of the lawn and garden center.
And you know what kind of valid arguments you're making right now, right? To be made in open court in front of a judge. We aren't the judge and jury. I mean, yeah,
We're not judge and jury. We just judge you and arrest you for things that aren't crimes. And yeah, you kind of need to be, as a cop, a somewhat judge / jury of somebody reporting a crime.
You move one thing and 100 other things.
Court, and then judge or jury makes those decisions.
But actually, I thought we were innocent until found guilty in a court of law.
Right, and arrest or citation is a promise to appear. Nothing more, nothing less.
Actually, it's a contract. It's not a promise.
Well, citations are a promise to appear. That's all those are. So.
Yeah. I had something I wanted to point out. I forgot. Oh, and it wasn't just Officer Castillo, because even I had a
partner's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I never got her.
The kind of the larger female.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
I never got her. She never presented her name or herself.
Right. That's Officer Riley. Yeah, she's another one of my officers.
I'm curious at how much Officer Riley has fucked up, because his demeanor when he said it, yeah, that's Officer Riley, like, oh fuck, she fucked up again. Sorry, that's just hilarious to me.
You move one thing and 100 other things move with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lambert Street, and it's plus enough, and they have been influenced here. However, those men didn't identify themselves, and I feared for my life.
So,
yes, I identified himself as a licensed officer. He never said what kind of officer.
Mm-hmm. And that's not being dramatic. That's not exacerbating. I literally did, because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I actually had that exact thought in my head. Okay, I'm like, putting myself in your shoes. I'm watching the video from Walmart, and I'm like, okay, it's reasonable. That yeah, who are these two large guys trying to pull me back in? Okay, I get that, 100%. I get that. At face value, if that's all we had, then yeah, I think we could possibly go that route. But once they identify themselves,
they never have.
They never have.
We still don't know their names.
We don't know their names at all.
And Walmart won't give them to us.
Well, when I say identify, and they're attempting to take you into a loss prevention office, which is clearly in Walmart. It's closed off to the public.
I didn't know what that room was. I didn't know what they were doing. I couldn't understand anything because I was overwhelmed.
But once you get in there, a reasonable person, okay, we'll use reasonable person as a stretch, but it's filled with security cameras, desks. I mean, it's pretty.
So you're removing.
Wow. So a reasonable person. What person is reasonable in that situation? What person is thinking clearly in that situation? Because if you're in fear already, you're not thinking clearly. That takes the clear-mindedness and throws it out the fucking window. So, hello, you're being attacked. Who's reasonably thinking? Like, I'm serious. These cops have got to be some of the worst cops in all of Texas, all of America. But I know they're not. That's the sad part. I know that they're not. And that's fucking kind of scary, actually. But, so that's what I have for evidence. I have more, but I think that makes my case pretty clear right there. These officers are not out there doing the right thing. These officers are not out there protecting and serving as they should be. Well, sorry, they are. Just the wrong people. They're protecting and serving the corporations. But if you look into what a police officer is, that's what they do. They protect and serve the corporations. They don't protect and serve you and I, the living man. So, yeah. If y'all have any questions, please hit us up. Leave a comment. I will shoot you my email or something if you would like to help out. Please, we need your help. All we can get. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.